everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm coming to you with another sketchbook flip through. We've got my cozy weighted blanket. I usually sit on my bed. If you see a blanket in the background, because I am chilling out on my bed and half my body is under a weighted blanket, and it's just so cozy. If you've never tried it, try weighted blankets. 10 out of 10 recommend. Anyways, here we are on this sketchbook that I mentioned in my last video. I will link it down in the description. I ended up doing a personal review of some markers, and I finished up this sketchbook while showing off the Sharpie Creative Earth Tone markers. So here we go. I have had this sketchbook since 2021. I will show you guys the cute little front and back. I'm going to look up the artist that I got these stickers off of a few years ago. Super cute, and I recommend her as well. I think it's on Etsy, and I will look through and pop it in the description below. And these stickers, they're felt stickers that I actually had for, I don't know, some art project with my kids. They never used it, and I figured since the cover of these Pink Pig sketchbooks are really unique and they have that kind of fun feel to it, I figured why not? But the sad thing is little parts of the stickers have fallen off throughout the years. There used to be a little green leaf here. There was a little green part up here, but I don't care. I like it. I look at it and it reminds me of when the kids were little, and it just gives me all the happy feels. So, as I have mentioned before, this is a Pink Pig sketchbook. I've already done a sketchbook flip through of another Pink Pig sketchbook that I had. That one was 4x4, but this one is 6x6 with Cappuccino Brown paper. So here we go. All right, since this is the second Pink Pig sketchbook, I'm just going to mention that I bought this a few years ago from the Pink Pig website, and at the time you could customize your sketchbook. You could customize the color of the cover if you wanted it in the front and the back, or if you just wanted a cardboard back, what kind of paper inside, the size, etc. They gave you a whole bunch of options. Unfortunately, since Brexit, they no longer ship directly from their website. However, I do know there are Pink Pig sketchbooks on Amazon, and I also know that Jackson's Art sells some. You just have to pick from what they have as opposed to getting the customized sketchbooks from their website. So I just thought I would mention it. So as for me, almost all my sketchbooks, I always cover them in stickers like I've mentioned or you guys have seen before, and usually on the inside covers, at least one of the two covers, sometimes both covers depending on the sketchbook, I will fill it up with stickers from my life journey. So over here, this is actually a tiny little doodle I did with a watercolor ink brush, and I was just doodling with it, and then I ended up really loving this little guy. It's just a fat, mousy looking hedgehog, and I did it super quick and I thought it was funny. But over here, this is an art supply store that I've been to before. And these are actually stickers from my daughter's childhood that I had left over from projects also. And it just gives me nice memories when I look at it. And then I just got stickers from different things. Anytime I got scrawler boxes, I did my very best to peel off the little sticker that was holding all the art supplies together, and I collected what I could. Some stuff are just from all kinds of different things throughout the years. If you guys watch Mira Byler, if you don't, just follow her. She's amazing. But back in the day, like way back in the day, she used to print out her own stickers, and this is like a little leftover from her printing out her stickers because I had a little blubble fly from her, and I just figured it would be a nice way to fill in the gap. So these are just things from hers for there. This was from like a free sticker sheet that I got, just all kinds of different stuff, stickers that were given to me. And then I was easily able to fill this in because, like I said, this is only 6x6. So I was able to fill that one in, and okay, I'll show you guys that later. So yeah, so that's what the first little part here is, the company little logo, company sheet, and then I just filled in this part here. So we're going to start. So obviously on this side, this isn't the actual sketchbook paper, it's just the little, I don't know, the divider. And I decided to draw on it because it's a surface, and why not? So most of this sketchbook, you guys are going to see I did acrylic paint markers, mostly Poscas, but there's a whole variety of kinds that I use, but it's majority Poscas, lots of paint markers. And I'm going to tell you guys, I absolutely loved the experience of using paint markers on this paper. I really recommend it. So let's get into it. This is just a little plant family. And if you guys are inspired by anything I show you guys, feel free to tag me over on Instagram, shoot me a message, a little comment. I would love to see if anything I post here on my video inspires you. So I went very tropical, obviously. I often do little tropical motifs when I just want to create and just kind of get into the flow and zone out and I want to do something easy. It's a great way to practice composition, see what colors work. So pretty much every single sketchbook you're going to see, I either do pattern pages or some little tropical pages because sometimes I just want a very simple go-to. And these are great to have as go-tos. So here we go. Let's make our way into here. There we go. So my daughter did this a few years ago. And because she did this, this is the Bible verse about the fruit of the Spirit. So the fruit of the Spirit, get it? The fruit of this. Yes, yes, yes. You're catching on so much. Yes. So over here, this is actually completely different than anything I usually do, which is exactly what a sketchbook is for. A sketchbook is for you to explore and play. And I really want to mention a sketchbook doesn't have to be this perfectly curated book. There's some people you look on Instagram, their sketchbooks are stunning, and I'm not trying to knock any of that. That's wonderful. I get inspired. I love it. But your sketchbook is for you. You don't have to show it to anybody. And it's a place where you go to learn and play. And that's what I did. And I actually really like this because it's not like anything I usually do. And then I had some metallic Poscas. And as you can see, by the way, the light is hitting the page over here. It gives a nice accent. Lots of fun. And I'm probably going to do something like this again. I had so much fun. And now when I look back at this spread together, great memories, makes me so incredibly happy. So the reason I cut through is I just flipped over and my daughter drew something on the other page that she doesn't mind seeing, but she wasn't the most comfortable with me sharing. And I want to respect her privacy. And I don't have to show you guys every single page, but she drew something a few years ago. It's sweet and precious, but she wasn't comfortable with me sharing. So that's what's on this side. So I'm just going to show you guys this. Obviously, Playful Puffin Studio. It's not a miraculous thing that I would be in love with birds and puffins. So this is obviously just a puffin in a muffin. It's not revolutionary. It's just, this is like a snapshot into my humor. Like, haha. But I like it. And you know what I like? I had this wonderful crink marker and I just love how it laid down and it just catches the light great. So that's what's on this page. And I really like how these tiny little dots just bring the whole thing to life. So of course, the muffin has to be chocolate chip. Okay, so in the comments down below, you guys need to tell me, what is your favorite kind of muffin? I want to know. So you can't go wrong with chocolate chip, but feel free to let me know so I can get to know you guys. So here we go. Now, I love contrast, all kinds of contrast. And over here, I just wanted to utilize the white with the contrast of the tan paper or the brown paper. So I didn't have a lot of time to draw. And that's what I like about small sketchbooks. You are able to fill up a page really fast. So it's nice to either carry it, go to appointments, have it in your purse if you're going to the beach, etc. You can fill up a page really fast. A go-to, like I mentioned before, is doing pattern pages. Lots of fun. You get to learn about your materials, what colors you like together and whatnot. And it's just fun. When a sketchbook is small, you can fill up the page quickly. Here's some more metallic shinies. And I don't know. I really like this sketchbook and I like this spread. Over here, yes, I got these markers at Desai and I really like them. They're Pebeo markers and I'm going to try to make it so you guys can see. These are a glitter marker. So I think the light is catching it well. Obviously, it would be ideal if I could go outside, but it's still way too cold for that. No, thank you. I just did some simple plants here, Posca markers, and I was just testing things out, trying things, layering certain things, and I really wanted to see how these markers worked on that paper because black paper, gray paper, white paper, it ends up changing the whole vibe and causing things to lay down differently. So it's really fun. If you don't have a toned sketchbook, a gray or tan tone, I would recommend you find yourself one. Ooh, here we go. So I believe this is when I first got some Caran d'Ache Neo Pastel pencils, the watercolor type. Yeah. So I hadn't had any experience with them before. So this background here was some acrylic paint that I had left over from another project. This is something I do often. If I just have a tiny bit of paint, I don't want to put it down the drain and I don't want to throw it out, I will often slap it on the back of a piece of loose paper, art paper, or in a sketchbook, and then I let it dry and I come back and then it's like I already have a background laid out for me and it'll be my prompt to propel me into the next project. So I actually tried these little because they're kind of waxy, but they're like watercolor. So I was just experimenting to see how it acted on top of the paint, and I was just seeing how they interacted here. So this is really just like just totally experimenting. I was trying things for other projects. This actually gave me an idea for another painting I went on to make after I saw how well it reacted on the acrylic paper. And then that painting ended up in my friend's nursery for her daughter. So great place to explore. Moving on. Alrighty. We've got this page. My kids really like this page. This is a swatch page, believe it or not. These are colored pencils from the dollar store. It was like a neon set of just 5. I wanted to see how they reacted, how well they laid down. And this is all that is. And then I just brought in a little white gel pen, made some highlights, and that's it, that's all. And for some reason, my kids love this page. And it's in essence a swatch page, and it's only those few colors. So there we go. I did this cute little koala, and when we move it, you can see that it's shiny. The light's catching the material, the metallic. I'm keeping that in. Life's too short to always try to make everything perfect. So there we go. We're gonna flippity flip flip. Oh, okay. Sorry about the wobbly little tap. I accidentally tapped the camera there, and for privacy reasons, I don't want to show something on the other page, and I will make sure I block it. So over here, we've got a lemon page. My daughter really likes this. What I particularly like about it is I used a special marker here, and I love how the light hits it. And I like, obviously, like you guys can see the running theme in my sketchbook, I like outlines and I like little metallic accents. So I really love this page, so does my daughter, and it actually sat in my sketchbook half finished for a long time, like over a year, and I'm so glad I went back and finished it. So I'm going to take this off, and then there we go. So I don't want to put the name of the park because I want to keep my privacy and my children's privacy safe. I actually don't even live in that area, but I don't want to give anybody any personal information as to where I have lived, even though we are far away from there now. So the story behind this is my children were playing in the park. It was a beautiful summer day. I didn't really know what to draw, but I was so in the mood to draw. And then the street light came on, and I'm like, why not draw the street light? And it's nothing special. And even when I was flipping through my sketchbook, my son's like, why did you do that? And I'm like, because of the memory connected with it. And I had fun doing the background. I made it kind of all fun and pop and everything, but the memory is exactly why I did it, and I still carry that memory, and it was just special to me. So your journal, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry. Your sketchbook can be your visual journal. So there we go. So moving on. All right. So I have talked about birds before, love birds. I ended up doing a bird challenge a few years ago, and every day there was a different prompt. I'm actually still working on a bird challenge that happened in January, but I'm super behind. But this particular one, let's talk about this one. I was able to be on time. I didn't have baby number 3 by now. And every day there was a different kind of bird, and I did some across various sketchbooks. I did some a lot in my other Pink Pig Sketchbook. I'm going to link that one in case you guys want to see the flip through for that one, but there's going to be a handful of birds in here from that particular challenge. So what I did here is, this is what the bird looks like. I utilized the brown from the paper for the bark of the tree and for the color of the bird, and I really like it. And like I said, I really like to do outlines. And then over here, this is done in Posca, and I really like how it turned out. I have some contrast here, and I'm just really happy with how it looks. So this is from that challenge. Moving along, here's a bird just for fun. It's not part of the challenge. I really like the metallic silver here, and it's just super cheerful. I think this might have been inspired by one of my kids' pajamas, but I'm not 100% sure. But another illustration in here definitely was. This was another bird that was part of the challenge, and for time's sake, I'm not going to get into all the names of the birds, but here we go. And I really like what you can accomplish even just with 2 markers. You can get really cool effects. So then moving along here, there we go. Here's another one, both from the challenge, but I accidentally didn't realize I did this upside down, and I have never done that before. My daughter had done it before and complained that she had done that in one of her sketchbooks, and I was like, that never happened to me. Well, humble pie is a delicious thing, my friends, because it has finally happened to me here, and I laughed about it. And you know what's so funny? This frog mouth bird is hilarious. Like, it is so incredibly funny, so I couldn't have made a mistake with a more funny bird. I actually have this bird as a sticker over on Redbubble, and not that long ago someone actually purchased it. So if I think of it, I'll put the link down for my Redbubble shop, but this little guy's over in there. And again, utilizing the background for the colors for my birds. Okay, so here's just a cute little plain mushroom illustration. This is a tri-colored pencil that I ended up getting in a scrawler box, and obviously it's red, white, and blue. I just wanted to test it, see how well it popped up on the paper. Simple feather. That's it, and that's all. Moving on, I love doing patterns. I love drawing food and fruit. I love the colors. I love tropical things, and that's what this is over here, a nice tropical fruit page. These are actually not Posca markers, they are Molotow, and I actually played with 2 different colors. I don't know if you guys can see, but there is white and off-white, and I think the camera might be picking it up, but this was actually part of, it had to do with the Skillshare class I was doing, and it was like a little exercise, and I really like it. And I liked how the markers were. I'm more comfortable with Posca than Molotow, but yeah, I'm still happy with it, and I actually got the Molotows as a birthday gift a few years ago. Here's part of that bird challenge I was telling you. So with this one, what I ended up doing, this is important for the whole thing. It's important to me, but if you're listening, you're somewhat interested, so thank you for listening. Anyways, so what I ended up doing here, it's pretty obvious. I used my sheet over here on the right as my palette, my paint palette, to do this bird. As you guys can see, I'm not going to talk about all of them, but you can see. So the flame bower bird, and I ended up using golden So Flat paints, and I loved it. And because I loved it so much, I ended up not wanting to finish my sketchbook because I only had 2 pages left, and I wanted to do something like this again. I wanted my last 2 pages to be something just like this, where I use 1 page as my paint palette, and you see all the process of how I mix, and then that. I had that in my head for so long, but I'll get back to that later. So keep this spread in mind. Take a picture. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Blink, blink, blink. Take a picture. I'm going to refer back to it. Keep my finger there. We're referring back. Ooh. Okay. I ended up getting something that had iridescent medium in it, and I never tried it. Slapped it on, and I'm like, this will be a fun background. So I left my sketchbook, came back, and I ended up deciding to do oil pastel on top of it. Super not good. Not good idea on my part, because the oil pastel really had a hard time sticking, but I made it work. And what was nice is since the oil pastel lifted so easily, I was able to go in and scratch away some details. So do I like this as a picture? Yes, but it was unbelievably hard to do because of this little shiny in the background, but I look at it and I love it. But because of that, I put a little bit of glassine over here into my sketchbook so that it doesn't get sticky and tacky over on this side. Again, this is the same paint that I had left over and I splotched it onto a background. And I was testing out some materials here too. I wanted to see how some crayons worked together, how some colors went together. And I was just testing some stuff out on this page. And I was able to use something I got for free in an art haul. And I think this is from Sizzix, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, just trying different materials and testing things out over on this page. And you can see all the shinies. Yes. All right, here's another pattern page. You can see right here, I love using metallics and I really hope that the light is doing it justice. There's little metallics even on the fruit. Love me some watermelon. I think it's just because I love the color red so much. This was not part of the bird challenge. This was just something fun for me. I think I got inspired by one of my kids' clothing. That happens a lot. I'll see something on their clothes and put it in my own style or certain colors, and I don't know, it just, nice memories. And moving along. Yes, speaking of memories. Okay, these are Crayola crayons, just your regular Crayola crayons. I ended up watching a video a few years ago from Sketchbook Revival, and Charlie O'Shields was on, and he did a lovely video. The video is not available online unless you purchased it, but the long and short of it is he was encouraging us to do something in a simple way, and then he talked about Crayola crayons, and I had done that, and long story short, fast forward, I had so much fun with the Crayola crayons that I'm like, why not put something in my sketchbook? Like, who has not used Crayola crayons here in North America? Like, it was one of our staples at school. So I just decided to play around with it, do something simple, color here, and I did a snail, and I don't know, it just brings out the little kid in me. Like, I don't know, there's something about this that just makes me so happy. It's just my kids' Crayola crayons. Like, I never use them, and I love it. I love it so much. Ah! Okay, I'm gonna move on. All right, so here's just some simple flower doodles. Again, I had leftover paint, and it was a background, and this is what I ended up doing with it. I love simple doodles because it just gives me the chance to create and explore, and you know, it fills up the page. Man, I'm loving that metallic pink. Anyways, let's move on. Again, I had paint left over. I put a little bit here, and this is what I turned it into. Just a quick, colorful doodle. I don't think I doodled these. Yeah, I did doodle them on the same day. I don't always put the date, and I don't always put the day when I put the date. But yeah, I ended up doing that the same day. I wasn't sure all these years later, but good thing I dated them. I didn't date them. If my husband's listening, I didn't date these, sweetie. I love you. Love you. I'm not dating. Okay. Over here, right here, I had purple paint. You saw that purple paint elsewhere. And yeah, I just ended up making this beautiful, simple pattern. And I actually also made this into a sticker over on Redbubble. So this was before my husband and I got married. We were chatting on the phone one night, and I was telling him a story of my childhood, and I was thinking of a particular friend, and this is just my emotions coming out. This is really like an intuitively inspired doodle, and there's a lot of memories with it. It's totally not my style, but I had fun, and I challenged myself to do different little repetitive patterns, and there, you know, it's like I worked through something when we were talking. And yeah, so this is back when we were just friends. We weren't even dating a few years ago. And yeah, so there's important meaning behind here, even though to look at it, you wouldn't know unless you're me. So it's a good memory. Over here, we've got a fat little hedgehog. I've actually drawn lots of fat little hedgehogs throughout the years, and I go through phases where I come back and do them. And I love this one. I like, there's no other words for it. I love, love, love it. Like, it makes me so happy. I don't know what it is, but I always draw them similarly. And so the reason I had to say hold on was because my beautiful son over here, he just woke up from a nap. So I don't know how much more I can do, but I'm going to try to let the show go on over here and give him some cuddles, and hopefully we can get through this thing. So here's another pattern page with fruit and with a tropical motif. I absolutely love it. It's different than what I usually do, but oddly, it still reminds me of me, which sounds very weird to say. Hello, baby. He's sliding off the bed, and I think he might go play. You're probably going to hear noise, guys. There we go. A noisy baby is a happy one. So here we go. Now I'm going to link that video, like I said, but this is when I did the Sharpie creative markers with the earth tone markers. This is the last little spread that I had that I told you guys about. Hi, baby. Really? Oh my goodness. So this is the last spread that I held on to for over a year. My sketchbook was totally complete for over a year, maybe a year and a half. It was ready to go, but I was like, I have to have the most perfect one. And I had this idea. I was going to film it and make a video out of it. And then I was going to have 2 of these lovely spreads in my sketchbook. And then I let that stop me from finishing the sketchbook for a year. No, a year and a half, like I said. All because I wanted to have another spread like this one that I loved so much. So I left my whole sketchbook completely abandoned. And I decided, you know what? That's silly. I can do what I want to do in any other sketchbook when I have more time. And life is easier. So, yeah. So I finished it, and I did this while I was doing personal review and feedback of those creative markers. So like I said, that video will definitely be linked. Hi, buddy. And my sketchbook is complete now. So yay. Thank you, bear buddies. All right. Over here, I did a 7-day sketchbook challenge. The challenge is I'm also only having one hand right now. So if things aren't perfectly centered, I apologize. But here's another example where I utilized the brown paper and incorporated it into my illustration. And that's how I filled out that page. Yes, sweetie. So this is from a Susan Yates challenge that I did during the summer while I was actually pregnant for Mr. Wigglepuss over here. So the prompt was brown, and I wanted to utilize the brown of the paper. There we go. I'm leaving all of this in, guys, because this is just what real life is. YouTube usually looks so polished and perfect, but that's because people just edit all the stuff out. So I absolutely love how silver looks on this paper. That's all this page is. It's let's love the metallic. Let's love the silver. Super simple. All this is tropical outlines. Very simple. If you ever want to try this, I recommend you go right ahead, take a screenshot if you want. Super, super easy to do. Absolutely loved doing that. Aha. So over here, I don't know if you're super observant to detail, but then you flip all the way over here. Very similar, right? This to this. For some reason, I absolutely love how these markers showed up on this paper and then these colors together. And I kept telling myself, I'll put something over it. I'm going to put a sticker. I'm going to draw. And then I'm like, I don't know why, but me loves this so much. And like, it was super calm and relaxing and fun. There is nothing special other than I love how it made me feel. I love how I felt doing it and how I feel seeing it all this time after. And I just love how it looksies. So if you're happy with it, leave it. If you get anything out of this, just don't be hard on yourself. And I always tell people a filled sketchbook page is a beautiful sketchbook page. Totally agree. Now here, I know for a fact I got this idea because my son had a cute pajama and there was a funny bear on it. So I took the bear and I tweaked it a little bit to make it my own personal style. But every time I look at this bear, it reminds me of one of my son's pajamas because I loved the bear on it. So he's just really cute and really funny. So moving along, we are actually almost done. I think we can do this even though little man is next to me. Oh yes, I love this spread. All right, I did this the same summer that I did the snooty little dog over here. Okay, I remember, and I actually saw a picture on Pinterest, and I think I combined the idea of 2 different images to create this. So it's similar to the original image, but I totally changed it and made it my own, changed the colors and did the outline. And like I said, I love botanical and tropical things. And every time I see this, I just love how it turned out. Love, love, love how it turned out. I really love putting fun pops of color to outline illustrations. It's just, I started doing that, I think in 2021. And I just still do it. So I started doing it during that bird challenge you guys saw me refer to. And I don't know. So this just makes me so happy. I love this bird. Ah! Okay. I love bees, and I went through a phase where I was doodling all kinds of bees. So here was a leftover of that purple paint you guys have seen before. And then I decided to turn that into like, I don't know, like a little sticker or something. And my goal here was to do all kinds of bees with different expressions. So in case you guys didn't notice, they're all similar. Exactly what he said, but different. And I even love just the simple little flowers. Like, if you just want to create, it doesn't have to be a masterpiece. Keep it simple. It's really the simple things in life that make people happy. So I really, really love this. I might make this into a sticker one day. I haven't decided. I don't know. What you doing, buddy? I ended up getting this white brush pen. I think I got it in a sketch box, and if it wasn't a sketch box, it was an art snacks box, and if it wasn't that, it was a scrawler box. But I think it was a sketch box. Anyways, doesn't matter. The long and short of it is I used the pen. It was a brush pen, and it kind of exploded, but it wasn't the company's fault. It was my fault. I did something and I broke it, and I didn't want to waste the paint in it, so I slapped the paint on to the background, and then I left. And just like the baby said, I eventually came back, and this is totally out of my style. I gave myself a palette I don't usually use, and I don't know why, but these are very like Dora the Explorer colors, and I just went out of my comfort zone and put something different, and I love it. Strangely, I love it, but it's so not something I usually do. I was just in a mood. So there's nothing wrong with that. Get in a mood in your sketchbook. Just go play. You have my permission. Just go play in your sketchbook. I think I got this idea from Mira Byler because she does draw with me sketchbook ideas. And I think she said, draw something like if it was in a picture frame. And I'm talking like years and years and years ago. And I took that idea and did this. I don't often do landscapes, and every single time I do landscapes, whether it's watercolor, markers like this, or if I'm just like sketching it out with pencils or whatever, I'm always like, why don't I paint or draw landscapes more? I love doing it. And then I don't do it. And then when I don't do it, I complain I should do it and I wish I do it, but then I'm always drawing animals and other things. So friendly reminder to myself, I need to do more landscapes, even if it's just cute and simple like this. So yeah, feel free to borrow her idea of drawing something and like it's in a frame. So that's what my iteration of that is. Okay, there's always some kind of flower blob picture in my sketchbooks. Why? Because it's very mindless. It really helps when you're in a creative block to challenge yourself to do stuff like this. I'll probably do little tutorials or a doodle tutorial on that again. I already have a little doodle tutorial on my channel. I'll link that down below. But yeah, this is a really fun activity, especially if you have creative block and if you just want to draw. So I'll make sure to do something more like this in the future, but I've already done something similar and broke it down super easy. So I do a lot of these when I'm just bored, mindless, need to work through some things. But then to make things different and switch them up, I did a similar blob thing here, but I did blob butterflies. And you know what? This is so simple. A child could do it. You could really turn this into a good activity, even as young as like kindergarten or something. Obviously, you change the expectations and they might not do something like that, but this is kid friendly, all level friendly. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Moving on. Okay. Believe it or not, this was probably the first sketch I did in the sketchbook when I received it. I remember I took the sketchbook, flipped it all the way to the back, and I'm like, yeah, okay. My whole point was contrast. So I used a multicolored colored pencil here, utilized the brown of the paper, and I went all tropical and contrast. And what better contrast with toned paper than a white gel pen or some white marker pens. So this is just a funny chameleon. My son says he really likes it, and I do too because he's cheerful and he's funny. Now moving on over here, obviously this is a fox. One of my kids' water bottles had a fox on it or something like that, and then it inspired me, and then I hopped on Pinterest, and then another picture inspired me, and then I tried to combine both ideas, and I don't like it. Like, I look at this, I'm like, oh, it's cute, but it's so not me because I was inspired by a style that so wasn't mine. So I really like the dashes and stuff here, but there's something about the shape of the face I regret, but I'm not going to pull this out of my sketchbook and rip out a perfectly good page. Like, it's just not my favorite. It looks fine, but I'm just being 100 with you guys, and not my favorite, but there are elements that I can appreciate, but it's just I see it exactly like he said. Yes, I agree. I totally agree. Let's try to get through this. Ready? All right. These are Jamboree nail wraps. I had leftovers. No one was using them. I cut them up and turned them into cheetah print. I've done this in multiple sketchbooks. Not the first or the last time that you see this, but these come from Jamboree nail wraps. That's that. You could probably do this with wrapping paper, scrapbook paper, magazine paper, any pattern paper. He totally agrees, so do it. Every once in a while, creative block. Oh, honey, thank you. We're gonna move that over here. Continuous line drawing. There is nothing special or revolutionary. Yay! About this, I just did some simple continuous line drawing. Hi, come cuddle. And this is what I got. And I believe I did it, I think I might have even done it with my left hand. And I usually use my right hand. So I believe that's what it was. And then I'm like, okay, cool, this is what I have. I wanted to get out a creative block. I colored it in, put some little heartsies, and that is that. So continuous line drawing for the win. Every once in a while, yes. Okay, over on this page, I had leftover paint from various projects, slapped it on. This is actually some kind of marker that I had, and I believe the marker got over primed, and then I had too much paint, and I didn't want to waste the paint. So this is from a marker, and this is paint. I never knew what to do with it, but I'm like, man, it looks so cool. Oh, hello, buddy. You're so funny today. And I didn't know what to do with it, but it looks so cool. It's shiny, it's sparkly, and I just left it, and then I came back because I ended up buying stickers from an artist that I love. Yes, I will link her down below. Her stickers are still available. She's got an Instagram page and an Etsy shop. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And I don't know. I ended up buying stickers from her, and I was like, these fox stickers would look perfect in here. So it's kind of mysterious and cool, but that's the story behind that page. Oh, really? Are you kidding me? I love this. It's super simple. You take a fine liner, do a simple pattern, and repeat it. And that's all I did here. So if ever you want to try this little pattern in your sketchbook, do some little simple leaves like that, feel free. Ooh, I'm sorry, I'm wiggling around so much. I've got a wiggly baby. So super simple lines and dots. That's all that is. Moving along. This is a swatch page. Obviously, these are with my Color Soft. Up here, I have 12 Color Soft, and I have 12 Chroma Flow. I was just trying out the colors. and some simple blends, and that's for that. A lot of people choose to do swatch pages over on separate pieces of paper, or they have a special sketchbook designated to it. And I don't know, you do you, boo. That's all I got to say on that. Over here, I had a leftover of this peach paint, and I ended up having it as a prepared background, and then one day I was in a blue mood. I wasn't sad, I was just in a mood to use blue. So, as you guys can see, I have some liquid chrome. So this super shiny silver is liquid chrome, and then I used some metallic, and it's super simple. Just a few minutes, it gives you time to relax, and I had so much fun just with this. It's super simple, nothing amazing, other than it made me feel better, and I think that's good enough reason. And I don't need to explain myself. I just don't. Okay, this is from, yes, exactly. This is from that bird challenge that I did, and I did it all in Posca. I have debated whether or not I should continue this teal all the way up like it's in the sky, or leave it, and I've just left it. But I may go back in and color it all the way up. I just kind of like the vibe it's giving, and obviously it's acrylic paint markers. I can't erase it, so if I end up coloring it all in here, I can't go back. So I don't think it'll hurt any. Hi, if I do, but it's something I've been debating about for about 4 years. Exactly, I know. You need to leave the lamp alone. This is an illustration I really, really like. There are some metallic highlights in it, and I love it. And it's giving like baby girl nursery. And believe it or not, yes, I have also made it into a sketchbook. A sketchbook, wow. Exactly, thank you. I just made I've made this into a sticker over on Redbubble. And I will do my best to remember to link it below in the description. So he's getting loud, but we're almost near the end, guys, so please be patient. And if a baby bothers you that much, then you probably shouldn't be following my channel. Sorry. Anyways, really love how it turned out, and there's something just so sweet and wholesome about this. Not about that. Don't choke yourself. Ewy. Ewy. I know, wow. We've got this, guys. Just be patient. There we go. Another bird from the bird challenge. Too bad you guys didn't see his face. That was funny. I actually, funny. I used some powdered watercolor a few years ago for the background here. And I love, 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 love the effect that it gave. So powdered watercolor. And I actually got that from Sketchbox, because with Sketchbox you can go into their store and you can buy stuff separately. You don't have to only buy subscriptions. You can just buy certain art supplies separately. Beep. And then I used some metallic watercolors to show the shiny parts of the feather. And I just really like how this particular page, I know, you can play with your toys, turned out. So it's an interesting bird. And before this challenge, I had no idea what it was, but like it says here, this was a day 14 bird, and I'm just happy with it. So because this is giving green and tropical, I have some nice green tropical over on this side. Very simple design. I just, again, love the pattern, love the colors, and this is so nice when you're just trying to relax. If you have certain things that are your go-to and they calm you down, like some people, they're like, I can draw fish over and over again. I can draw teapots and teacups. You're so silly. I'm almost done. Over and over again. If you like to draw cats, patterns, whatever it is, do it. Like, do it. And if that's all your sketchbook is, do it. It's totally fine. Oh, you don't need to choke yourself. You don't need to do that. So here we are, guys. We are so close. We are so, so close. All right. Over here, I was using a marker that I received in an art box. Sweetheart, don't choke yourself. and I used it. It was a blue metallic marker, and I'm like, oh, I like this. But I really wasn't feeling that the whole page should be that blue metallic marker, so I brought in just a few others. So believe it or not, this page, all it was some silver, some white. Oh, hugging. Silver, white, and that blue marker. So really, it started off as a swatch page, and then it got crazy busy, but I like it. I don't know. It gives me like some country cottage vibes. I don't know. Another swatch page with my Derwent Light Fast pencils. Again, there's 12 in that set as well. The page got a little bit damaged, but that's okay. And these ones are separate from the other ones because I think I got them at a different time, and they are oil-based. So there we go. Almost done, guys. I don't know what the story is here, but I was in a mood that day, and I thought it was so funny, and I still think it's funny, like how the pineapple is just so happy, loving his life, and then this frog is hating his life. My son actually asked me, like, what are you going to name that frog? I'm like, I don't know. But he is definitely snooty, and he is not happy. He is not impressed. So I don't know. I was in a mood. I had an idea. It had to come out. So every time I flip to this page, it makes me giggle. I don't know what else to tell you guys. I had a story to tell. And here's the story. Yay! Not part of the bird challenge. This was just for me. I love to draw fat animals or fat birds. Yeah, I'm not calling you that. And this is what this is. It's just a fat budgie, and I put the colors that I used over here. And I just find he's so cute. He's so fat, and he's so cute. I love it. All right, so like I told you guys, lots of acrylic paint markers. Okay, this is really like you can't. You shouldn't be confused here. It's kiwis. This is a kiwi, obviously. Like, if you don't know that and don't understand that, you have to understand it now. It's a kiwi. And that's all you need to understand. So, and here's a real kiwi. So this is a kiwi, and this is just a kiwi. So there we go. Beautiful golden outline. And I actually used 2 pinks here and layered them to get that funky effect. Hello, sweetie. I am so almost finished. Over here, I did a funky abstract, no rhyme or reason, completely out of my comfort zone, out of my normal style page, and I'm here for it. It's oddly weird, not like anything I did, but again, I was in a mood, and it had to come out. Hello. Speaking of mood, he's just doing all kinds of stuff. And there we go. I just did all kinds of crazy colors and patterns, and this is literally exactly what I was telling you guys. Your sketchbook is for you to play. And there we go. This is actually from a graphic design course that I took, and it was for an assignment that we did. We had to do that, and I printed it out, and I'm glad I kept it. It's a good memory. I ended up putting the day that I started the sketchbook, so it was January 6, 2021, but I finished it March 15, 2025, but I was honestly ready way before then to do it. So I hope this inspired you guys. This was a very long video, but sometimes it's nice to do longer videos, and we're not going to edit out all the stuff, and it was just more of a real life video. I'm going to link everything down below. I hope you enjoyed it, got some ideas. Oh, that was just gross. And if you guys had a favorite page or a spread, let me know. And if something inspired you, let me know. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Stop it! Have a lovely day, everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys. One.